Good evening. Welcome to Fluttering in the Spirit Tarot. Today's Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. This is a reading for the sign of Pisces. Please take what fits here and leave the rest. Spirit, please help with this message today. Go ahead and give these cards a little more of a shuffle. I've went ahead and shuffled a bit here. Looks like someone may not understand you. Also seeing place of employment and school. So someone may work at a school or potentially go to school. Maybe a student turning a new leaf. Place of employment. See what else. And let other priorities get in the way. Let's go ahead and cut the deck here. I'm going to do this reading a little differently. Spirit, what is the message for Pisces today? Can't remember if I said please subscribe, follow, like this video. Someone has a crush in past energy. We have domestic violence. And we got someone bad-ish crazy in past energy. Okay. We will go ahead and clarify these cards. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a past, present, future energy reading. I'm hoping that I can fit all the cards here. I'm just going to move this part over where we can see what they are. Hopefully I don't get flagged because of the bat-ish crazy card. I didn't think about that when I was making it. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and pull tarot at this time. Make space. Go ahead and see what's in your energy today at this time, Pisces. So I feel like someone may have had a crush in the past, and this person may have turned out to be quite crazy. And then we have a domestic violence situation. Maybe this situation has resulted in a DV case, potentially. Okay. And sometimes that's all it takes is someone catching feelings for someone, not realizing they're a bit cray-cray, basically. And the next thing you know, you're in, because I can speak from experience here, that you can find yourself in that situation pretty quickly, not really seeing that that's where it's going to go. Okay. I can't remember if I cut the deck or not. Okay, Spirit, what's in the past energy here for Pisces? We have Judgment in reverse. We've got the Fool, Aries energy. Got the Ten of Wands, those are burdens. Got Temperance in reverse. That's Sagittarius. Three of Pentacles. Actually gonna put these under. I'm trying to put these where you can see all the cards because I'm not sure. Yeah, this is gonna not fit that well, but we'll make it work. Yeah, the Ace of Wands. Spirit, what is in the future energy? We have the Backpacker of Swords. That is the Knight of Swords in reverse. We have the Guide of Swords, it's King of Swords. And we have the Eight of Swords. In the back of the deck, we have the Backpacker of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Swords in reverse. Okay, I am going to use the guidebook to help clarify these cards too as well. But the first card we have here is the Judgment card, and the Judgment card is just checking the sign. Okay, I don't have a sign listed here, but I do feel like Judgment can have to do with this can be a, well, in a reversal, a lot of self-doubt and resentment in a situation, repeated patterns. So someone's definitely, spirit's calling judgment on a situation here. There's been a lack of awakening. This can speak of ignoring I'm just going to move these out of the way for now, and we'll just move them up as we get there. This can speak of a lack of awakening or an inner calling, a higher calling. So repeating a pattern and not learning the lesson from it. We have the Fool, which is Aries energy. So that's taking a leap of faith in a situation. And if you look at this card, you can see, like, if you look at what's pictured here, this person's kind of looking in the direction of the judgment. I feel like they may have known when they stepped in and took a leap of faith here that it may become a repeated pattern. We do have the energy next to the Ten of Wands, which typically the Ten of Wands is someone who's carrying a lot of burdens, but they're almost at the finish line. So at this time, when you took this leap of faith, you may have been very burdened. Okay, so let's take a look at the Judgment card in reverse here. Let's see what the guidebook gives us. So in a reverse, it's overriding your intuition, not really listening to your intuition, not really paying proper discernment. before taking this leap of faith here with the Fool card and deciding to basically give this a shot, whatever the situation is here. This is in past energy. And then we have the 10 of Wands. And then upright. The keyword simplify. So you may have been in the energy of wanting to simplify things in your life because you had been so burdened in the past. Maybe potentially after coming out of a situation that was domestic violence related, someone who had a kind of crazy energy. Next, we see temperance. And with temperance here, and this is in a reverse. This is Sagittarius energy. When in a reverse, this can speak of having a lack of foresight that results in conflict and strife in a relationship. This can speak of pushing for results when there's an imbalance in the situation. This card here, when in a love reading, can be a warning not to force a relationship. The next card we have, this is in present energy, but do keep in mind that this reading is timeless, so you can find yourself at any stage. So you could be in the past energy right now, or you could be in the future energy. So it could be different for each person. Next, we have the Three of Pentacles here, and this is coming out in a reversal. The Three of Pentacles, this speaks of disharmony, feeling a lack of confidence and burnout in a situation. There could be a lot of criticism and bitterness at play. Let's take a look at what the book gives us on these cards. So Temperance in reverse is burdens, feeling burdened. Three of Pentacles is releasing stubbornness regarding the situation. With the Ace of Wands here, this is excitement. Something that you're wanting to put your energy into. Then we have the Backpacker of Swords. The Backpacker of Swords is the Knight of Swords. This is in a reverse. This could be an air sign. So that would be Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. With the Backpacker of Swords in reverse, this is someone who approaches you very carelessly. They may be pushing themselves or other people to extremes, can be very hasty. But I feel like here you are as the Guide of Swords, which is the King of Swords. Let's take a look at the keyword here for the Backpacker of Swords in the stack. Releasing obedience. Because this person's coming in so hasty. So that's what they need to do. Rather than pushing other people to extremes. As the Guide of Swords, you're in alignment between your body and your spirit. I kind of see this person, it looks like they're kind of putting their hand out, like, okay, stop right there. I'm ready to grab my sword. It's kind of what I'm seeing. You see this person approaching in this energy, and you're not having it. And then we have the Eight of Swords. That's in reverse. In this deck in the guidebook, this speaks of releasing victimhood in a situation, not playing the victim. Empowerment, releasing yourself from your own self-imposing restrictions basically on yourself. And yeah, you're ready to pick up that sword if needed, and you're protecting yourself. Here we have in the energy you can't see the Backpacker of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Scout of Swords in reverse. We will clarify those. Let's start with clarifying the past energy here. I'm just going to move these down. I'm going to use a different deck here. I think I'll use these smaller cards to clarify. Let's give these a shuffle. Okay, so we got the Judgment card here. So that's just starting off right off the bat with I feel like you're kind of calling judgment on the situation before you even jump into it with the Fool being here. Like there was at least something that you knew, even if you were kind of pushing, whether it was your intuition to the side. But it does look like there was some doubt going into it and fear that patterns were going to be repeated. Okay, let's go ahead and clarify. Cut the deck. Spirit wise judgment here in reverse. Okay, so we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like here you were already concerned that patterns might repeat. The Six of Pentacles in reverse can refer to someone who is potentially selfish. There's an unfairness. You may feel that when this person does give to you, like there's an ulterior motive behind it. I feel like they're not, because if this was in an upright, then it can be equal give and take. Like you may feel like this person kind of breadcrumbs you. Things are just not equal. The effort that you put out, you don't feel like you see that in return. Spirit, why is the Fool here? This may have led you in your pain. Well, that flew out. It's funny because it's the Fool again. Twice. Okay. To really take a leap of faith here, but it ends up resulting in heartache here. I feel like with this Fool card coming out twice, you may have taken more than one leap of faith with this person. Or it could be more than one relationship that's kind of played out in the same way. Spirit wipe. Okay, the cards are flying out with this. Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands, which is very burdened. We have the Eight of Wands, but this came out in reverse. So feeling very burdened. This can speak of, because this in and upright is a lot of communication. This can be miscommunication. So you may feel very burdened and frustration in the situation due to miscommunication. You may feel like this person is kind of delaying you or delaying to take action. Next, we see the Temperance card. And that Temperance card again is in a reversal. So with Temperance being in reverse, this can be conflict. So due to the burdens that were overbearing in this connection, it seems like there was definitely miscommunication and delay. With Temperance here, this speaks of conflicts and imbalance. Let's go ahead and clarify. Spirit, why is Temperance here? Four Cups. I feel like this reflects someone basically showing disinterest in what you're offering to them. They're kind of sitting here with these three cups they have. They've got their hands crossed. They're not really looking at to what you're giving them, or, I mean, it's kind of a gift from the universe coming out of nowhere, as you can see here. And then we see the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles refers to, this is bringing disharmony because you feel like this person's just not appreciating the love that you're offering to them. You may feel isolated. Spirit, tell me more about the Three of Pentacles. Justice. Wanting truth and balance and fairness in a situation where there's just a lot of criticism and bitterness, that you feel like this person's kind of sending you that kind of energy. We have an Ace of Wands. But it does look like you're excited about something here with the Ace of Wands. Spirit, tell me more about this Ace of Wands. Knight of Cups. Spirit, tell me about this Knight of Cups. Okay, so we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords in reverse is definitely feeling exhausted by a situation. So something that really previously there was a lot of passion in this connection with this Knight of Cups. This could be a water sign potentially that you're dealing with. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, there was definitely a lot of passion, but the situation and the energy that you were getting from this person exhausted you. You didn't feel like what you were putting out there was coming back to you. That energy wasn't being returned to you. And then we have the Backpacker Swords, which is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords, the Swords energy is about communication. Again, this could be a air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. It doesn't have to be though. But with the Knight of Swords, this is someone who is very careless in their communication with you. They may be very disorganized and just scattered. And if you look at the cards going down rather than across, like you had some concerns here before you started. Then you find that this person's really not returning your energy at all. And they're very scattered and careless. You may feel like this person's constantly not just pushing themselves, but other people to extremes unnecessarily, which was causing you a lot of stress. Spirit, tell me more about this Backpacker of Swords. We have the Queen of Wands in reverse. This is a fire sign energy. That would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. With the Queen of Wands coming out in a reverse, this is someone who definitely comes off as very aggressive and demanding. Just because it's coming out in Queen energy, that does not mean that this is another. I believe this is the same person. This does not mean that this is a feminine. Everybody has feminine and masculine energy. This can be someone who's very vindictive. So they're pushy, vindictive, doubting people's value and worthiness. Also feeling like other people don't value them. Just not really a very good energy for someone to be in. And you're kind of taking authority here as the guide of swords, the king of swords. And you've got your hand out, basically. Like, no, that's enough. I'm ready to pick up my sword if I have to here. Spirit, tell me more about the guide of swords. This came out sideways. Two of Cups. Regarding this connection. Not that there's not love here, because it came out sideways. So this is a soulmate connection with the Two of Cups coming out. But there's definitely some disharmony here. And you're putting out your hand saying, no, that's enough of that. And then we have the Eight of Swords. Spirit, tell me more about the Eight of Swords in reverse. I believe this is the gaining clarity in the situation. Let me make sure here. Releasing yourself from self-imposing restrictions. So yeah, in this card, typically it's the person who's surrounded by the swords and they're tied up, but they could just untie themselves. Very caught up in your head, because swords is mental, is communication or thinking. So this is definitely someone who had you up in your head a lot, but you're at a point where you're ready to free yourself from that. You're seeing the situation for what it is, and you're kind of stepping into your own empowerment here. We had a couple cards fly out with this one. We have the Knight of Pentacles, and we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse is taking a look at this situation here and seeing that it's chaos and a failed opportunity. With the Knight of Pentacles, which did come out in an upright. You're taking a practical approach. I see you moving in the opposite direction, moving into the future after putting your hand out and saying, no, that's enough. Okay. We're going to go ahead and clarify the cards that were on the back of the deck here. We will clarify these first cards a bit too with the love oracles. Picked up that one too. Okay, so we've got the Backpacker of Pentacles in reverse, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and the Scout of Swords. So the Backpacker of Pentacles would be the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So we've got two reversals here. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse is someone you find to be very unreliable, who may easily get bored with a situation. That's that Four of Cups energy. They may hesitate to take action as you feel like they have in this connection, which is why ultimately you decided to step away due to their energy. And then we have the Scout of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. Someone very defensive when you do bring these things out, careless with their words, They may gossip about you. Just very manipulative. So let's go ahead and clarify here. I'm going to give these a good shuffle. Okay. Spirit, tell me about the backpacker of pentacles or the knight of pentacles. We have the seven of pentacles. So with the knight of pentacles, again, that was the unreliable energy, not wanting to take action, very complacent. You're just finding this isn't worth your effort here. This is a failed opportunity. You put your energy into something that isn't, or someone that's not returning the energy to you. We have the Page of Swords in reverse with the Emperor in reverse. This is someone who manipulates and misuses their power. And they may do so in a very verbal way, with the Page of Swords being in reverse. This is someone who may go around gossiping, like I was saying, may be very defensive and manipulative when you try to speak to them about how you feel in this situation, which is why you chose to walk away after seeing that this was not a situation that was healthy for you. You may have felt like this energy was just a bit crazy to deal with. Whether the situation was a situation of domestic violence or not, it looks like you have dealt with this in your energy before in the past. This may be someone that you've had feelings about. I want to get a little more. I was going to run some love oracles on these cards here just to get more clarification. And then we'll get some advice. Okay. And you may wonder what was going through this person's head as they were exhibiting this kind of behavior to you that you needed to walk away. So I'm going to also pull a few Dark Confession Oracle cards. Let's see what comes out. Let's cut the deck. This reading's a little long, so I'm going to try to wrap this up here. Spirit, what is in this person's energy? What are their dark confessions? It's difficult for me to process my emotions. I am not available right now. That's what you may have felt like with this person in the Four of Cups energy. Let's get one more. I have things going on in my life that require my full attention. And my first thought with this is if that's where your energy is at, then it seems like maybe you need to focus on yourself and not draw other people into your issues if you can't even get your own issues under control. People spend too much time trying to connect with other people and become codependent sometimes on drawing energy from other people when really they just need to work on themselves because they're going to repeat this pattern more than likely with other people when their energy may be a little bat-ish crazy. With the Emperor coming out in reverse here and some of the other energies, do keep in mind with domestic violence, that doesn't always have to be physical. It can be what somebody mentally puts you through, can be just as much domestic violence. I've been in a domestic violence situation. It's funny, I was watching one of my favorite readers and it was actually a reading that came up that popped up from, it was a random date like a year ago, and it just popped up after a recent one that she had posted today. And it spoke of basically my past situation, and it was quite specific, and basically it was encouraging me to speak up in my readings because it was speaking of me having a online platform regarding my past situation and circumstances. I was in a relationship for a number of years that involved domestic violence that really impacted me and my kids, and basically stating that I have a story to tell that I need to tell. And so now that these cards are popping out, I definitely feel like I'm being called to talk about this. That it is not just physical abuse, it's mental as well. When somebody is verbally tearing you down and making you question your own worth, that's abuse in itself. Especially if this person, if they have this kind of energy with everyone around them, that they have things going on in their lives and they find it difficult to process their emotions and they're not available, and then they come out in this manipulative energy, then like it's really time to seek some help at this point, because you're going to continue to expose other people to this energy just because you're not dealing with your own demons, basically. Okay, let's go ahead and get a little more clarification. And I kind of just went on but it's okay, it needs to be said. Spirit, tell me about someone has a crush in past energy. Okay, that card is just sitting. Okay, that was weird. And the card that came out with it, curse, hex, witchcraft, negative mind. So this person that you had a crush on in the past, you found was very negative in their thinking. They may have potentially exhibited some form of witchcraft or used some kind of witchcraft against you, or a hex. So this kind of makes me think of black magic. And what we have to realize is that doesn't always mean casting spells against someone. It can just be speaking negative about someone. Because when you put words out there, that's energy that you're throwing towards this person. Spirit, why is domestic violence here? Sometimes that can come back on you when you're putting that kind of negative energy out towards another person. Okay, releasing or letting go of a domestic violence situation and walking away. Good job if you've done that. Okay, why is crazy here? Ecstasy and release. And ecstasy in reverse or past energy, chasing thrills, the excitement, or a good time. Well, I feel like this turned out not to be a good time in the end. But it's possible in the past energy, this is what this person was chasing. Which is why they were in the Four of Cups energy with you. Because if you're just chasing thrills and you're offering them a cup of love, they're not going to be in the right energy to really reciprocate that. And with that first card that came out, which was Judgment in reverse, were already concerned about a pattern repeating. So that's why I feel like this is a situation or a relationship or a connection, whatever it is, that you had given a second chance to or decided to try again. Okay, so let's pull some advice. I'm going to pull from the, what is this? The Shaman Wisdom card. Not really surprised these cards came out in the end with the reading I heard earlier. Just to share with you a little bit, because I feel called to. The reading was speaking about someone having a box within a box in their home, and that what was in the box was a story that needed to be told. And the my husband, because we never actually divorced, who I had the domestic violence situation with, recently passed away. And his ashes right now are with my oldest daughter until we go and pick them up. And they're in a box within a box. And so, what's inside that second box is his story. And before he passed, we did make amends. And I feel like he's actually wanted me to tell this story and his story, which I will. This type of energy is something that can be passed down generation to generation. If you were brought up in a household or just in an environment where there was a lot of chaos or violence, this can affect a person. It can affect their whole life. Sometimes it's hard to break generational trauma or environmental trauma, whatever the situation may be. But you can make amends and do the right thing in the end. And I'm just going to say this. You don't have to wait until you're on your deathbed to do that. So if you're in some bat-ish crazy energy, you know, get the help. Try to get the help you need. Spirit, what's the advice? Okay, so we have number 5. This is the heat moon. This is Leo energy. I think that says shield. Let me get my glasses. Yeah, shields. Shielding yourself. Adolescent. Okay. I have a feeling this is going to be interesting. Let's see. Where's the book? Number 5. I am heat moon. I am the fire of creativity. I am the warm moon, a summer of doing, of activity. I spark all kinds of new ideas. I am art and beauty. In my intense light, you may find yourself honoring your creativity. Take time right now to express yourself through art or craft. Paint a painting, knit a shawl, create a prayer stick. Fill your creation with the power and strength of your intentions. Okay. Let the sparks flow. Make it count. Your children, be they human sons or daughters, or the reflection of your creativity, artwork, or career, need your attention at this time. Wow. That's kind of hitting me because I know my daughter needs me right now with what's going on. Give it happily and freely. Sorry. Find new ways to bring a little romance into your life. You'll enjoy it. Sometimes you have to find that within yourself. Sometimes we're so apt to feel like we need someone else to complete us and make us feel whole. When really all you get is some bat-ish crazy crap, you know? Okay. I feel like pulling another card. Let's pull one more for advice here. Spirit, what is the advice here? Okay. We've got a couple. We've got wedding and we've got flame. Let's start with flame. The flame symbolizes both creation and destruction, representing transformation and cleansing. Dreaming of a flame indicates that an inner energy is awakening, possibly a surge of passion. The flame may also represent a spiritual purification process, burning away unnecessary emotions or beliefs. Fire is not just about destruction, it also signifies new life, the possibility of rebirth from brokenness. Amen. Then we have wedding. Wedding symbolizes union, commitment, and new beginnings. Dreaming of a wedding suggests a turning point in your life, signaling harmony and a fresh start, whether in relationships or personal growth. It reflects a desire for commitment and responsibility, leading to a deeper connection and a new chapter in life. Close this baddish, crazy chapter Close the door to domestic violence. If you've walked away from this, it's over now. Focus on yourself and your healing and your children if you have kids. Kind of what I'm getting here. There's a flame within you wanting to heal this. All right. Well, that is the message today. Please do subscribe, follow, and like this video. Till next time. And thanks for sticking around till the end.